I'm lucky here. We've got the Attorney General on our deck. It's really a pleasure to do this. I'm MSCA President Paul Lemley, and we're going to get in, if you're willing, these itty bitty little desks.
Absolutely. Reminds me of, I don't know, second grade, sixth grade. Let's try it.
They're small, and it's,
Woo!
everybody gets that flashback, right? Welcome back to school.
Yeah.
So you have, by your own statements, one of the really coolest jobs. What's the best part?
First of all, I have what I really believe is the best job in public service.
Why?
I work for the people. I represent the state. I've got 1,000 professionals, 700 lawyers. Everybody's committed to the service to the people. They're smart, they're bright, they're collaborative, and we're involved in everything. We're working with the General Assembly when they're working through difficult, thorny education policy. We work with the governor to get the Orioles to extend the lease for another, 15 years.
Stay.
And we've got, some serious stuff like, protecting the interests of the state in the litigation with the Francis Scott Key Bridge. And also, of course, against the Trump administration, where they're seemingly trying to violate every fundamental right for Marylanders. So
that can't be the best part.
Well, no, but it's a challenge, and the best part is that it's smart, dedicated people working on difficult issues, and that is inspiring.
Okay. So you're in the grocery store, you're at a party. Do regular people seek your legal advice?
They do, sometimes if people don't know me, they ask me, what do I do for a living? I say, I work for the government.
Right.
And they say, oh, well, what do you do? And everything to avoid saying that I'm an attorney.
Right.
But no, people reach out. They know I'm an attorney. They know I'm the Attorney General. They do. I try to channel them to maybe a division in my office that can help them, or a nonprofit legal organization that may be able to assist them. I get it. People, they're in need of help, and they're going to turn to someone they believe that can help them, and I want to be as helpful as I can.
Cool. I think it's one of the coolest titles in public service. Is it nice to be called General Brown?
So I joke around a little bit when people ask me, why'd you run for Attorney General? And I say, well, when I was in the Army, I retired in the reserves as a colonel, which is one rank below general. And in order to have general on my headstone one day, I had to run for Attorney General. So here I am, General Brown.
Right. And you've had such a wide career in different kinds of public service. What's next for you? What's your future?
The future, obviously, re-election and a second term as Attorney General. Look, I've had the privilege to serve in the legislature, both state and federal. I've been in the executive branch as Lieutenant Governor, now as the Attorney General, the Chief Legal Officer of the state. And in every role, I've always said that my aspiration is to put my skills and ability and passion to the highest and greatest use for the people I serve, which are the people of Maryland. And I'll tell you, the Office of Attorney General, this is a great job. So I love it. I think day to day what I need to do. I think about, serving another term and going to the people of Maryland and asking for that other term. And that's as far as my horizon is right now.
So in the past, have you ever had a union job yourself?
I have not had a union job, no.
I mean, that's not unique, like a lot of people don't, but you've been such a friend to us. Mm-hmm. And I remember meeting you, I believe in Atlanta, 2012. Why such an affinity for unions and this one?
Because unions, they galvanize the voice of the worker, right? They organize the workers so that they're to advocate for better work conditions, for better pay. And while a small percentage of workers in America are part of a union, it's that union movement and the benefits, the advantages, the good work of the unions that help all workers throughout America. Why this union? Why MSCA? Because educators are the primary advocates for students. That's what I've seen in the public sector. We look to parents as the primary educators, because I firmly believe that, but we look to educators to help parents educate our children and to be the advocates before legislative bodies, policymakers. So MSCA serves such an important role, and I've partnered with when it was MSTA back in the day.
Yeah, somebody gets it. So you What's harder, military service or getting elected to public office?
Let's see. You know, they're both challenging and rewarding. I loved military service. I really did. That's why I think I started by saying the Attorney General is the second best job I've ever had. Being a captain in the United States Army was by far the best job I've ever had. And it is hard. I spent a tour of duty in Iraq. I fortunately came home, you know, in one piece and sound mind, and not everybody, you know, does. So it's hard work. I definitely honor and respect the men and women who put on that uniform. Fewer and fewer Americans do today. It's hard. It's difficult service. Getting elected, that's tough too.
Right.
I usually lose about 10 pounds in every competitive race, so I'm hoping to, you know, I'm hoping to not lose too much weight this time
Right.
around.
Is there an educator or educators that you feel like you'd like to shout out?
Two of them, and I introduced them both to the MSEA membership 11 years ago when I was running for governor, and that's Mr. Donofrio, who was a school custodian at Woodhull Elementary School. He made sure every time we came to school, the building was in good working order, in good shape, conducive to education. And Mrs. Gallo, my sixth grade teacher, she said, Anthony, you can be anything you want when you grow up. I think you're going to be an attorney. I didn't know what an attorney was. My vocabulary wasn't good. She said lawyer, that would have been one thing. I went to the encyclopedia, not the dictionary. I opened it up to attorney. Right next to that was attorney general, true story. And I said, oh, one day I'm going to be an attorney general. But first I got to be this attorney, so I'm going to go to law school. And in sixth grade, I set out to go to law school because when I read about the attorney general fighting champion for justice and fairness, I said, that's what I want to do. So thank you, Mrs. Gallo, and thank you, Mr. Donofrio.
That's a big dream from the little desk. Thanks for your time,
Hey,
and we really appreciate you being here.
All righty.